first time in the history of the championship, Montreal plays host to a round of the Barber Pro Series, and it's an important one. This is the season finale. Hello, I'm Lee Diffie and welcome to Circuit Gilles Villeneuve here in Montreal for the 10th and final round of the Barber Pro Series. It's been a compact and at times intense championship this year with nothing but variety, from the flats of Sebring at the opening round to the rise and fall of Laguna Seca. And Jeremy Short, welcome to you again at this the final round. What a fabulous weekend for these stars of the future racing on this famed Canadian circuit.
It's a great opportunity for these drivers. It's a great racetrack here with a lot of history. The Formula One cars, they've been racing here since the 1970s. It's of course named after the great Gilles Villeneuve as well, one of the all-time sports greats. So it's a good opportunity for them. It's a great racetrack as well. It's a fast racetrack, it's a demanding racetrack, and there should be lots of overtaking.
This last round of the season allows us the opportunity to reflect. You can't ignore AJ Allmendinger. We know that he's already wrapped up the championship, but what a star this year.
Yeah, he really has been a revelation this year. I think it all started off for AJ last winter. He went down to New Zealand as the winner of the Team USA Scholarship, racing Formula Ford down there. The results were a little bit disappointing for him, but he grew up enormously, both as a driver and as a personality. And he came back to this country ready to race this season, and he's just never stopped. He won the first race and kept on winning since then.
We've had a variety of winners in this 2002 season. Some of the standouts for you, I mean, we've seen Davey Cook win, Sperifico win, Meyer win.
Yeah, they've all done a nice job. And Mark Brewers, he's come on enormously this season. He's really improved in leaps and bounds. He won his first race as well. A lot of very talented young drivers. And this championship, it's been one of the best years for the Barber Pro Series since in the 17 years it's been here. There's been some fantastic racing, a lot of very talented youngsters.
No one can top AJ Allmendinger here this weekend, so everyone's going hard to finish on a high note, aren't they?
Yeah, they certainly are. They've got to run well this season to finish off the season and look forward to next year.
All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights of this great circuit.
A tremendous racetrack here, a lot of history at the circuit Gilles Villeneuve, quite apart from the name. Of course, the Formula One cars, they've been racing here for years and years and years. This, though, the first time for the Barber Pro Series cars on this very challenging, very technical, very demanding racetrack. Several very good overtaking opportunities, certainly down into turn 1 will be one, the turn 10 hairpin, and probably the best opportunity down at turn 14. The drivers love this racetrack.
The circuit's pretty challenging, a lot of fast chicanes and good braking zones, and I think you really got to be aggressive to be fast.
The surface is flat, no bumps. Yeah, I think it's the best track we run it this year.
It's a lot like a street circuit. I mean, it's obviously here as a permanent course, but there's a lot of long straightaways with a bunch of quick little chicanes.
It's pretty neat. It's a lot of straightaways punctuated by chicanes. Some of them are pretty slow and technical. A couple of them are very quick. It's basically totally different from any track we've run at, I think. It's a duck-billed platypus as far as tracks go. And it's shaped like a duck-billed platypus, incidentally, as well.
It's very exciting. It's fast in certain places, very technical in others. You got to kind of have your car set up for both speed and handling, and it's fun. It's a lot of twisty stuff, switchbacks, and you got to hang it out on the edge of the wall, and it's just very fun to drive.
It's pretty quick, a lot of long straights and slow corners, so braking is key, and also getting a good run onto the straights is key. It's a lot of fun. I love the circuit.
This is how they line up for the final race of the year. AJ Allmendinger, his 4th pole of the year, alongside Dan DeLeo, his 2nd consecutive front row. And the two scrapping it out for 2nd in the title, Rafael Sperifico and Mark Brewers.
Row 3 of the grid. On the inside is Memo Rojas, Josh Brillo. He won here in Formula Ford 1 year ago. Back on row 4 of the grid, Piero Rodarte. He missed the last round, comes back with a career best starting position, so same for Chris Baker.
Row 5, Leonardo Meyer, the winner and pole sitter from Road America, alongside Davey Cook. And row 6, Aurelio Lopez Jr. and Danica Patrick returns.
Back on row 7, Herman Quiroga. He had a career best 6th place finish last time out at Road America. Alongside him, Christian Schimzak. Back on row 8, Josh Rem, also back from one race away, and Rhonda Trammell.
Position 17, row 9, Javier Gonzalez. He starts alongside Tommy Fogarty. That thumb is improving. It's on the mend. Good to see him back. Row 10 is Scrannon and Atticus Missner.
Michael Brutelich, this is his 2nd Barber Pro Series start of the season. Mike Richardson, the Canadian back also. And the Luxembourger, Pierre Schroeder, rounds out the field.
We've got 5 fabulous onboard cameras for you. This is Tommy Fogarty on board the Tosky Shoes entry. Chris Baker a little further back in the field. He's got his work cut out, but he's on the improve. Piero Rodarte in the Telmex entry gives us this great camera shot, but not quite as interesting as this one. Mark Brewers, he's fighting for 2nd in the championship, and we'll see that fabulous shot from him And this is Dan DeLeo starting on the front row with AJ Allmendinger. He'll give us that wonderful helmet cam shot. The green flag is coming up. Stick around. More right after this. Okay, that's what I tell my wife. Welcome back to Circuit Gilles Villeneuve here in Montreal, Canada, as we prepare for the 10th and final round of the Barber Pro Series. And the man who has already clinched the Barber Pro Series title for 2002, AJ Allmendinger. He starts from pole. He's had a great run here in Canada. He's won the previous 2 Canadian events this year. This would make it a hat-trick if he can win here today, Jeremy.
It would. He's been a revelation really all throughout the season, has AJ Allmendinger. Just been a star from start to finish. You really set the ball rolling with a great performance in New Zealand as part of the winner of the Team USA Scholarship last winter. That, of course, supported by CART. And here he is taking full advantage and now looking to end his season on an even higher note with yet another victory.
Fabulous crowd here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, and a big moment for a lot of these young drivers. They are thrilled to drive on this famed circuit. And pretty good looking front row. AJ Allmendinger, Dan DeLeo, 2 very talented young drivers. They pack up nicely now. We should get green this time by as they come through the final turn onto the front straight. There's a lot of anxious drivers here. They really want to finish the year on a high note. And let's wait and see. We should get green. And AJ Allmendinger gets a beautiful jump. We do see green, and here we go as they pile down into the turn 1 complex. And Allmendinger streaks away. Mark Brewer's keen to make a good move around the outside. He pressures Rafael Sparafica. There's already contact.
Somebody lost a nose cone there. That goes steady across the racetrack, and hats off to all these guys. And nobody got distracted by that nose cone flying across in front of them, and everybody made it through the first corner. I'd have put money against that, and I'd have lost.
It looked like one of the Telmex cars it could have been, and also Herman Quiroga was caught up in something further back in the Gigante car as well. But no doubt about it, AJ Allmendinger got away to a great start. This is the view on board the 4th place, Mark Brewers.
Yeah, it wasn't the nose of Mark Brewer's car, was it? Clearly we can see that car on the front of this car here. A great shot as he worked his way around the back part of this racetrack here in Montreal. A tremendous start, a good getaway there by AJ Allmendinger, and the Canadian hero, Dan DeLeo, right on his tail.
There it is. It's the car 2 back from Mark Brewers. Let's see if we can pick up who it was. A little hard to see. It might have been Josh Beaulieu.
Could have been, yeah, or else maybe Memo Rojas as well. If you thought it was a Telmex car, it could have been Memo Rojas. He started there on the third row of the grid. That's around about where that nose came from. But here we are down into the hairpin. And what a great first lap AJ Allmendinger has put down. He's already pulled out 6 or 8 car lengths over Dan DeLeo.
Well, let's take a look at that first corner incident, Jeremy.
Yes, Josh Beaulieu. You can see him there. He's looking to the inside of Memo Rojas. He hit the back of Rojas' car, and it was Beaulieu's engine cover that went flying up in the air. The nose that went flying up. Here's another view of it. There it goes, straight up in the air, and it clips. I think it was who's up behind. Is that Piero Rodarte as well? Somebody else lost a nose there as well. So all sorts of action. This is on board Chris Baker as he he hit the back, I think, of Rojas' car there. So Baker there up in the air. What a great shame for him. He had a great effort in qualifying, a career best 8th on the grid.
Here is the battle for second. Rafael Sparafico in the red car really putting the pressure on. on Dan DeLeo for that second spot. Chris Baker. We ride with Chris. Pretty good qualifying performance here this round, but he went round.
Oh boy, what a wooey, just collects the inside wall. It was also a very eventful first lap for the 32-year-old Texan, qualifying absolutely superbly. Unfortunately, it's all gone wrong for Chris Baker.
And another replay here. This is coming down into the final turn. Rafael Sperafico and Dan DeLeo. Boy, there's been some action in the opening laps.
Yeah, they both straight lined the chicane there. You can see it was Rafael Sperafico in the red car making a move on Dan DeLeo. They both had to go straight through that corner. I think because neither of them gained a specific advantage over everybody else, I don't think there will be any penalties levied, but a hairy moment for those two, and that just adds to AJ Allmendinger's lead.
Battle for 11th further back. Aurelio Lopez Jr. making a nice move there on Danica Patrick. Good to see her back in the Barber Pro Series after missing the Road America round. And this has been pretty frantic. The 10th and final round of the championship. Everyone wants to really finish on the best possible note that they can. But look at that up the front of the field. AJ Allmendinger is streaking away. We ride with the second place Dan DeLeo. You struggle to see where AJ Allmendinger is. He's that far out in front. He's doing a great job here on Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. First time for the Barber Pro Series here, and we'll have plenty more right after this.
You tell me.
They are fast cuts.
Yeah, to be honest, once it's gone, I'm on to the next thing, so I don't even notice. So I'm going to have to rely on you for that, I'm afraid, Dave. I think so, unless it was, yep, great, cool.
The Barber Pro Series season finale continues, and you're looking at AJ Allmendinger, the newly crowned Barber Pro Series champion, and he leads convincingly over Dan DeLeo, Rafael Sperafico, Mark Brewers, and Mimo Rojas, who is coming under increasing pressure from Josh Beaulieu. And Danica Patrick repays the favour on Lopez Jr.
Tremendous move there by Danica Patrick, and on the inside there into that final chicane. And here's a battle of Greek brewing up there for fourth place. Mark Brewers under intense pressure, and we're back on board now with Dan DeLeo. He's lost out that second place. There is Rafael Sperafico ahead of him now, and Dan DeLeo, he's going to fight hard to regain that second place.
We've seen some fabulous onboard camera shots in the Barber Pro Series this year, and this is another one. Look at that, you're riding with the third place guy. Here is the replay of the pass for second. Look at that, Rafa Sperafico.
That was a textbook pass by Sperafico. He got down the inside cleanly, and there wasn't even any opportunity for DeLeo to turn into the corner. Sperafico had that pass made absolutely cleanly, and now Dan DeLeo, he has to try and regain that advantage.
It's early days as far as this 40-minute race is concerned, but I can tell you, Jeremy, this is one of the races of the year so far, because it's hard to know where to look, because further back there's a tremendous scrap going on between the Canadian Josh Beaulieu, his home event, and here he is. Look at this, puts the pressure on Mimo Rojas, the Mexican. These two have been at it for so long, and Rojas is caught in the middle because he's looking at this guy, Mark Brewers. Brewers is now setting up Dan DeLeo. This is thrilling stuff for the top three. Mark Brewers cuts through on the inside in the Sunoco entry. Tremendous stuff.
There they go side by side into turn one, but it's DeLeo who has the inside line. He's got the preferred line into that corner. He is the one who maintains that advantage. But farther back there's Leo Meyer looking to run in there as well. He's getting his nose into this action. He's a winner at Road America a couple of weeks ago, and he now is trying to get himself up towards the front of the field once again.
And there is so much on the line for this guy right here, Mark Brewers. We're looking This great view from his nose cone of the Sunoco entry. Second place in this championship is on the line right here, right now. And 2 positions further up the road is Rafael Sperafico, his closest competitor for that second spot. There's only 4 points between them coming into this round.
That's right. If they finish as they are right now, then Sperafico would get 16 points for second place, and Brewers would get 12 points for fourth place. So that would put them level on points, and they would both have 1 win to their credit. So it would come on count back further back from there. And I think it would be probably Sperafico, because he has 2 second place finishes to his name, that would get that tie-break decision. So all to play for here. Brewers needs another position if he is to hang on to second in the points.
2 new winners in the last 2 rounds. We saw that fabulous effort from Leonardo Meyer at Road America, and Mark Brewers, the driver that we've spoken about in the last few moments. He cleaned up at Mid-Ohio, both their first ever victories in the Barber Pro Series. Through the final complex, onto the start-finish straight. And Brewers can't seem to gain any ground on Dan DeLeo. DeLeo is doing a wonderful job in third at the moment.
He is indeed. It's a good battle between their under pressure now. That is Mark Brewers. Down the inside comes Memo Rojas, locks up the brakes, but he does make it through, and he stays on the racetrack. Great move there by Memo Rojas. He was a bit desperate, but he pulled it off.
Boy, he hung onto it nicely. His slight lock-up as he got through on the inside of Mark Brewers, but then managed to hang onto it in the Telmex entry. Super stuff from the young Mexican. Let's take a look at the replay. Here we go. Down into turn 2. Whoa!
That was great. Yeah, it was a completely different pass to the one we saw Sperafico make on Dan DeLeo a few laps ago. That was a textbook pass. This was a desperate pass, but they were both effective. They both made it stick, and Memo Rojas now up into third place.
And Rojas wants to impress as well, just like the rest of these drivers. He's got big plans for next year. He wants to step up into the Toyota Atlantics category, so he wants to impress potential team owners or team bosses for him. So there's a lot on the line here, and look at Josh Pugliu's car.
Boy, he's been in the wars this weekend, the early stages of this race. We saw him lose the nose turn on that car early on, and now damage to that left front wing as well, and that is going to cause Josh Puglio a lot of problems, particularly corners like this. The right-hander here leading on to the fastest part of the racetrack, and I think we can see Leo Meyer soon begin to make a move on Josh Puglio. That would be the battle for 6th and 7th.
Oh, what a shame for Josh. It's such a massive weekend for he and also Dan DeLeo, the 2 most notable Canadian drivers in this field. As we take a look at Piero Rodarte, he's been caught up in a pretty enthralling scrap with Davey Cook further back in the field, but meanwhile it's AJ Allmendinger who continues to dominate round 10. More after this. Watching the 10th and final round of the 2002 Barber Pro Series, and boy, are there some battles out on track here at the famed Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal. Here is Davey Cook scrapping for whatever position he can grab, and that's Danica Patrick hassling him further back in the field. Up front, it is AJ Allmendinger who is leading very nicely from Rafael Sperafico and Dan DeLeo. That's the top 3. This is further back in the field, though. Battles right through the order.
They certainly are, except for the very front of the field, of course. AJ Allmendinger, he's put a lot of gap between himself and the rest of the field, but here's this scrap going on farther down the order. That's Danica Patrick trying to make a move there on the red and blue car of Davey Cook.
And Christian Shimshak in behind those guys. Shimshak did not qualify well for this round, and it's unusual to see the Californian so far down. He's got his work cut out for him. Aurelio Lopez Jr. thinks about it, then thinks twice.
Super racing there all the way through the field. We're back on board now with Dan DeLeo. He's lost second place. He's working hard this afternoon. He's also working hard on next year.
You know, like every driver, you know, we have to work hard off the track as well as on the track to find some money. Hopefully secure some sponsorship. You know, I got some things going right now that look pretty promising. You know, finalize a couple of those deals and definitely keep in shape and try to be back here next year.
One of the best rookies in this year's field, and in fact, coming into this round, the second best rookie as far as the chase for the Rookie of the Year title is concerned. It's pretty stiff competition as far as AJ Allmendinger is concerned. He is far and away the best rookie, and of course he has already clinched this year's title. There's first, there's second, and look at the battle for third. Here's Rafael Sperafico in the Dodge entry. He's secured second spot for the meantime, but the pressure is really on Dan DeLeo now, the man we just heard from, because Mimo Rojas has really put in some impressive lap times and is all over the back of Dan DeLeo.
You're right, the young Mexican is absolutely flying now. He's right up onto the tail of the Canadian Dan DeLeo, and looking farther ahead. Well, Sperafico I think is making some progress in terms of tracking down the race leader AJ Allmendinger, but this is the battle, third and fourth, Dan DeLeo, Memo Rojas.
One of the biggest assets of the Kart FedEx Championship Series is the diversity, and have a look at this. You've got a young Californian leading the way from the Brazilian Sperafico, the Canadian DeLeo, and the Mexican Mimo Rojas. Look at this battle further back though. It's still on. It might be for the minor placings, the minor points, but this is fantastic motor racing. And look at Josh Beaulieu, poor Josh Beaulieu with that crunched up, mangled looking car, and he is still in this race.
Well, he's still holding off Leo Mayo. He's doing a sensational job. Josh Beaulieu, just never say die.
Look at this, up into the hairpin. And on the inside, Dan DeLeo, late on the brakes, just rubs the side of Josh Beaulieu. And that is Leonardo Meyer, the Road America winner. Fabulous drive there. And Herman Quiroga, he's another one who's lost that shock cover in that first corner incident.
Yes, he did. And interesting move there from down the inside. That's Leonardo Meyer looking to the inside, car number 31. On the outside there is Josh Beaulieu, and Leo just got in there a little bit too hot. He carried too much speed into the corner, hit the side of Josh Beaulieu as if Beaulieu doesn't have enough problems already. And there, Piero Rodati, the blue and white car, slips down the inside of both of them and says, thank you very much indeed.
Let's get back to this battle for third. This is for the final spot on the podium. Locks it up again into turn one. Mimo Rojas is charging hard, pushing incredibly hard. And look at that, Josh Beaulieu gets back on the inside of Leonardo Meyer.
Yeah, and Beaulieu is still ahead of Meyer. Meyer just cannot, well, he can find a way past, but he's not able to make it stick. And now, Josh Beaulieu there, he's just defending that position, doing the best he can. That car has got to be handling absolutely horribly, but Beaulieu is doing a great job to hold on ahead of Leo Meyer.
That was pretty determined driving from Josh. I think he was keen to get one back there on Leo, that's for sure. The Quaker State entry of Leonardo Meyer. He's been impressive this year, and to round the year out with a win, and the second last round was pretty good going.
He was for the big scholarship winner of last winter, and here's another Canadian driver there, that's Dan DeLeo, still under pressure from Memo Rojas. Memo Rojas, the last of the late breakers, but look now how those two have closed up on the second place car of Rafael Sperafico. There's a battle again though. Now Leonardo Meyer, I think, has a run on Beaulieu. Can he make it stick this time?
Just caught something at the bottom of the screen there, it seemed though. Dan DeLeo, look at this, here we go. The Meyer-Beaulieu fight continues side by side, and Leonardo Meyer wins this one out again. Herman Quiroga coming under increasing pressure from Davey Cook, but I just saw something quickly further up the road, Jeremy. It looked like Dan DeLeo had pulled away from Mimo Rojas, bought himself a bit of ground on track. Look at this, two abreast coming down into the final turn. They are scrapping right the way through this field, and Davey Cook goes around the outside of Herman Quiroga. So too did Josh Beaulieu, both a little bit ambitious, and they didn't gain any ground, so they stay exactly where they were.
And that's the way the rule stands. If you don't gain an advantage by shortcutting the chicane, then it's all square and you can continue on your way. But it looks like there was a problem there for Josh Beaulieu. He's given up the ghost and pulled off the racetrack. So it's a shame to a tigering drive by the young man from Langley, British Columbia, and his day seems to be coming to an end, Lee.
Here's a guy we haven't seen a lot of. This is Toski Tommy Fogarty there, further back in the field. We'll be back with more from Montreal in a moment. Thanks for joining us on Speed. You're watching the 10th and final round of the Barber Pro Series from Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, just outside of downtown Montreal. And we have had a great race so far. It's still pretty much early days. There hasn't been too much pressure on our race leader, AJ Allmendinger, but the pressure has been further back, that's for sure. Here we've got Davey Cook, Christian Shimshak, and Danica Patrick. They're in a pretty good fight. And Josh Rem is in there as well.
Yeah, and Aurelio Lopez Jr. So all sorts of dicing there amongst the midfield, and it's really getting quite heated down there. They're getting very, very close together, and there's a lot of changing of positions going on.
Everyone is putting everything on the line at this final round to impress for the 2003 season. Where you finish in this title certainly means something. They need to have the best possible number on paper at the end of the year. And look at this, Danica Patrick, one of two female drivers in this field. She is trying her best to get around Christian Shimshak. Josh Rem is there, Lopez Jr. Fabulous scrapping.
Great stuff indeed, and Christian Shimshak there, he holds on that position through turns 1 and 2, that complex of corners, pretty tight complex there. Now coming is down the backside of the racetrack alongside the St. Lawrence River. It's a really tremendous racetrack this is. It's as we heard the drivers say earlier, it's pretty smooth out on the asphalt itself. It's smooth, but it's very, very challenging, really demanding track for the drivers, brings out the best in them, no doubt about it.
Back up front, and here is AJ Allmendinger, and look at this, the battle for third has closed back up after Dan DeLeo bought himself some time and space. Mimo Rojas has regrouped, and all four, Jeremy, have bunched up a little, haven't they?
They're a lot closer to Allmendinger than they were earlier on, and AJ now not really quite under pressure yet, I have to say, but Sperafrica there in second place, and no doubt about it. Whoa, there's a big battle on the back. There's Davey Cook, and there's Christian Shimshak involved as well. It looks like Josh Rem just about getting away with it.
And Lopez Jr., you can see the green and red front nose cone there. Doug Hill puts the full course caution alert out, and those drivers stranded on the track is Christian Shimshak and Danica Patrick in the Shell Rahal entry. And the pace car is dispatched. That is a major, major incident. Christian Shimshak and Danica Patrick, whether they came in contact together or the wall, we'll work it out when we see the replay. But that is a major one. The Simple Green safety team, they're very quick, smart. Well, let's see what we can make of this, Jeremy. Let's take a look at the replay and see what we can work from this.
Yeah, they're coming out of the corner there, and it looked like Shimshak just lost control on the exit of the corner. Danica Patrick, absolutely nowhere to go. You can see Josh Rem there with his nose cone askew. He gets through, and is that Lopez as well also involved? He's sort of limping away from the action of two cars there who came to rest in the middle of the road. That would be Danica Patrick and Christian Shimshak.
Just diverting away from that accident scene for a moment. Look at Danica Patrick, she is not happy. I was about to make a reference for up front, but look at this. You can tell that Danica Patrick is not pleased with Christian Shimshak.
What do you think you were doing? I think is probably the gist of what she was saying there. As she thinks better of sticking around. Christian's a good bit bigger than Danica is, and they're both now making their way towards that safety truck. And we look again there, just looked like he lost it on the exit of the corner, and just a concertina move there. Aurelio Lopez absolutely nowhere to go, nor did Danica Patrick. And Josh Rem, you know, they were so close together, those guys, just no opportunity to avoid them.
And Danica Patrick stands on the front of Shimshak's car and said, "What was that all about?"
I don't think she was very impressed, do you, Lee?
No. So, well, there they are. There's Danica Patrick and Christian Shimshak. They're both okay, thankfully. But let's talk about the front of the field, Jeremy, because they will all be bunched up now, and there will be some pressure on AJ Allmendinger.
There will be a lot more pressure on AJ Allmendinger. Absolutely right. Here we are now on board there with Chris Baker as he goes through the accident scene. That was the battle for 10th place that was involved in that shunt.
All right, as we regroup here at Montreal, we'll have more right after this short break. Team Rahal driver Danica Patrick walks away, and the picture tells the story, doesn't it? She is not pleased, and she did not want to end her championship in that fashion. She has been consistent. She has been very impressive in her first Barber Pro Series season, and this is not the way she wanted to end her season. She came into contact with Christian Shimshak and then just got slammed from Aurelio Lopez Jr., but Lopez Jr. had nowhere to go, Jeremy.
No, certainly not, and you're right, Danica has been very impressive, just 20 years old. She's got a long-term contract with Team Rahal, will step up into the Kart Toyota Atlantic Championship in 2003 season, and she certainly wanted to finish this year off on a better note.
Well, no one can finish the 2002 season better than the man right behind the safety car, and that is AJ Allmendinger, the young Californian. He clinched this Barber Pro Series at the Mid-Ohio round 2 rounds ago. Jeremy Shaw caught up with him recently.
AJ Allmendinger, 2002 Barber Pro Series champion. How does that sound?
That sounds great. I mean, the season's just been basically perfect. It's more than I hoped for. Coming into the season, I just really wanted to go for Rookie of the Year and maybe contend for the championship, get 1 or 2 victories, but boy, this has surpassed my expectations by far.
Now, to start out the season as a rookie, but then win the first 2 races and never give up the point standings during the whole season, how much of that did you truly expect?
Oh, I mean, there wasn't. I mean, I was surprised after the first victory, and then going into the second round, I was like, is this a fluke? You know, and I was so nervous after going into the second race about if I could do it again. And then from there, I won that, and it was just about being consistent all season. I had the confidence from there that I knew I could win anytime, you know, I could just win a lot of races during the season and be consistent. And it just took off, and, you know, the races that I wasn't the fastest at, I tried to be smart and take podium finishes and most points possible, and by the end, it worked out.
Your best moment of 2002?
I mean, you always got to love your first victory, and I mean, that was such a surprise to me, and I remember crossing the line, and it was just like in disbelief, like, boy, this this happened, so. But I would also have to say the Toronto race was so exciting with Rafael Sparafico, the battle back and forth. I mean, that's when it's the most fun, when you can trust the guy that you're racing with, and to have that come out on top in such a great race and such a great driver that he is, I knew that, you know, this was my season to win or lose, and I was the only one that could ruin it.
Okay, you've conquered the Barber Pro Series. What's next on the agenda for AJ Allmendinger?
I mean, hopefully the Toyota Atlantic season in 2003. I mean, there have been minor talks about Champ Car, and you know, I won't lie. I think I really can drive the car. You know, get enough test time and be with the right team. I think I can. I got enough confidence in myself that I think I can drive anything. And but really, I'm looking focused for the 2003 Toyota Atlantic Championship, and hopefully I can do the same thing that I've done this season. And just start building it and being Champ Car by 2004 and try to dominate that series.
A terrific young man, a very talented young driver, and as far as his record here in Canada this year, he won in Vancouver, he won in Toronto, and can he make it a nice hat trick to round out the year? Well, he's got Rafael Sparafico, who's fighting for second in the championship, right behind him, then Dan DeLeo and Mimo Rojas. Now, I guess it's fair enough to say, Jeremy, at the beginning of the year we thought Rojas may have been more of a genuine championship threat, but he's had some bad luck throughout the year and hasn't really performed as well as we thought he may have.
Just not been as consistent as we thought he may have, Brace. He's got quite a bit of experience now, man. When he first drove in this series about 5 years ago, picked up a lot of time in different race cars since then, and you know, he's certainly been a contender more often than not. He has made a couple of mistakes, a couple of things gone wrong, but he's certainly been a contender this weekend.
As the mess is being cleaned up, that's the way your top 10 sit here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. We'll be back with plenty more right after this. Jeremy. The action continues here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. The track has been cleaned and cleared, and we are set to roll again. AJ Allmendinger heads this field as we will momentarily get back into racing when they come around. They're on the back straight, heading down towards the final complex, and we will be back under racing. Well, you kind of get that feeling, Jeremy, it's going to be as frantic as the original start.
Yeah, you're right. It's everything to play for now. We're down towards the closing stages of this race, but still quite a long way to go. And you can see a lot of cars still out on the racetrack. AJ Allmendinger, he's going to lead from the point, but he's got some hungry youngsters right on his tail.
Here they go. They pick up speed coming down into the final complex, and you've got all the main players you want to make a thrilling end-of-season race. Sparafico cuts the corner on the restart. He didn't gain any positions, and Mark Brewer spins. Did he get tagged, or did he just jump on the gas too hard?
Well, you know, it's this situation at the restart. Your tyres aren't quite up to temperature. They're not as hot as they were before when they were under full racing conditions. So if you get on the throttle a little bit too soon, that's what can happen. The back end can come around. And Mark Brewers, he's thrown away a potential second place here in the championship.
Josh Rem was giving Davey Cook a pretty hard time there. As AJ Allmendinger continues, let's have a look at that replay from the restart. Watch the red, yellow and blue car, the Sunoco entry. Jeremy, it looked like he did it all by himself.
Yeah, it did. You know, it's very easy to do when the tyres aren't completely up to temperature. Let's here on board with Mark Brewers. Just got on the throttle there, just a little bit too hard, and around it goes. The good news is he didn't hit anything.
Nice save, but unfortunately that puts him second place in the championship into some pretty serious jeopardy. Rafael Sparafico is running well. We ride with Dan DeLeo again. He is still in third, but coming under increasing pressure from Mimo Rojas in the Telmex entry and right behind him.
Once again, though, a great restart by AJ Allmendinger. He's pulled out several car lengths over Sparafico, and now Sparafico not a bit far behind him. Whoa, there's a touch there. He got hit from behind, I think, by Mimo Rojas. Around goes DeLeo.
Whoa, look at Herman Kroger. He's ended up upside down. Boy, oh boy, that was a pretty fast sequence of events, and the young Mexican has ended up upside down.
I think that's Davey Cook involved there as well. He was just left with absolutely nowhere to go, and Herman is still in the car. You can see him, his helmet jiggling around there underneath. He's trying to get out. He doesn't like in that position. Look at that. There's not much room down there, but Herman, just enough room for him to get out of that car. He's okay. Listen to the crowd.
Well, that's terrific to see that he is okay, and he gets out of harm's way. Boy, oh boy, it's pretty rare to see an open wheeler car on its roof like that. We've seen it twice this year. We saw it with Julio Campos at Portland as well.
Yeah, we did. And once again, though, it's good news that Kuroga is able to get out of that car absolutely unscathed. But what a shame for him. He was doing a very good job, as was David Cook. Those two in the thick of that big battle there, down for the lower places, but he is okay.
Let's take a look at the replay, and there's quite a few cars involved. That's where it starts with Mimo Rojas in the Telmex car tagging the back of Dan DeLeo. Now, all of these cars take avoiding action. They go around the outside, and Herman Kuroga just runs over the front left wheel of Dan DeLeo, and it's enough to tip him up.
A big carambolage, I think is the way to put that, up in Canada here. You can see there that once again that impact there that took out Dan DeLeo. There also is Piero Rodati involved, and it's just a big mess going on behind them. They're all scrapping for that same piece of asphalt.
And it was a shame to see Herman Kuroga, after his season's best result at the last round, end up. Here's Dan DeLeo. Let's listen and watch. Piero Rodati, he was involved. He and Mimo Rojas ganged up like the Malachi brothers.
They did indeed, and I think Rodati himself carried a bit too much speed into that corner as well. Otherwise he'd have got scot-free through there, and he'd have made up at least 2 or 3 positions, but he didn't, and I'm not sure who came out of that whole mess in front of that pack, but whoever it was, it certainly is not Herman Kuroga. He's out of the car though, and he will play no further part today, but he has had another good run in the Giganti car this weekend.
The Simple Green safety team say 1, 2, 3, heave, and this will be a bit of a delicate process, lowering the car down. I did see Josh Rem escape on the inside. He got out of that melee pretty nicely, so he may have gained a couple of positions out of that. Meanwhile, look at this delicate operation not to slam the Gigante car down too hard. Nice job, guys.
Yeah, there's already quite a bit of damage on that car now. You don't want to cause any more, but as I said, they did a very good job. And once again, there's not much room to squeeze out there, but there is just enough for Herman to scramble through and to get out of the car. And he says, sorry about that, Davey, nothing to do with me, and I'm going to get out of here. Thank you very much.
So it's been a pretty eventful day here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. AJ Allmendinger has led right from the start up until this point. We've had a massive crash with Christian Shimshak and Danica Patrick, and now Herman Quiroga ended up on his lid. But up front, the battle is still on. Join us right after this. The field still under caution here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal, Canada, after that latest incident involving Herman Quiroga. That mess is being cleaned up right now before we get back to racing. And let's hear from the field what they think of their season so far on a scale of 1 to 10.
For Road America, I'd have to say it's like a 3 or a 4. And after when I won Road America, now it's up there with an 8 or a 9. So it's great to have that first win, you know, in your pocket, get that kind of monkey off your back, and just sort of focus on racing. You know, I mean, it was a big relief for me to get that, and it was the first time I was on the podium too. So I hadn't been on the podium all year.
I think it'd be an 8. I've had a good season, a couple promising results, like I said, a couple podiums, and I've been pretty consistent throughout the year. I'm still looking for that one win, and if I get that in Montreal, I think, you know, my rating would jump drastically. So I definitely need a win.
It's difficult to say. It's been up and down. At Elkhart Lake last weekend alone, it was probably a 9 or 9.5. You know, getting my first podium. But overall, you know, it's been an up and down ride. But I've learned a ton. You know, in my first year in Barber Dodge. So I'd say probably a 6 or 7.
I'd probably put it about an 8 right now. I mean, I think the most important thing is that I've really done well with my driving and improved quite a bit. I've had some struggles along the way and worked through them, so it didn't necessarily get all the results that I'd hoped for. But so far as the driving and the improvement, I'm very happy with that.
I'd have to say about a 14. I mean, this is way more than I could even dreamed of. Started off the season with the victory. I didn't think it'd just carry over for the whole season, and I knew I'd be a contender for the championship, but just to run away with it, it was out of my expectations.
Jeremy, I've enjoyed getting to know these young guys throughout this season. You know them a lot better. Do you think they were realistic on their evaluations, their self-evaluation?
Yeah, I think they were. They've all done a great job. You know, it has been a tremendous year for the Barber Pro Series. It's been, I'd say, one of the most competitive years in its, 17 years of existence.
All right, you hear the engines roar, the feet go to the floor. Here we go, the restart. Let's hope this one gets us to the checkered flag. Doug Hill waves the green and the white as well. So this is it. It's the run to home, and wait, see who's going to make the desperate moves. Here comes Mimo Rojas on Rafael Sperafico. Great stuff. That was a very bullish move, and it's paid off.
You knew he was going to do that, didn't you? I mean, whoa, there's Josh Rem there trying to maintain control. He slides around there in turn 2. It was another great pass by Mimo Rojas. He took the bull by the horns, dived down the inside, and made it cleanly past Rafael Sperafico. Second place now for Mimo Rojas, but can he do anything about Allmendinger? Whenever it's a scrap, whenever it's a run, a restart to home, and there's not much time left, the desperate moves come out, and we saw it. So Rojas into second. Now Sperafico is under threat for that third spot from the last round winner, Leonardo Meyer. And I think farther back there we saw, I think it was Piero Rodati in trouble there, damage to the nose of that car. Look at this, some dicing going on there farther back, all the minor placings. That's Josh Wren down the inside.
And you can imagine how frustrated Dan DeLeo is, because he was sitting second early in the race, third for the majority of the race. Now he is well down the order. He tries to fight back.
That was Javier Gonzalez making a move there, the 39-year-old from Mexico City, having his best run in the Barber Pro Series cars. DeLeo trying to get that position back again.
Up into the hairpin for the final time. This literally is the run to home. And here is AJ Allmendinger. Well, what a way this will be to finish off the season. It will be his 6th win in a matter of seconds. Look at the scrap per second. Sperafico has come back on Mimo Rojas. It might be all too late though. This is the final turn. They come onto the start, finish straight. And AJ Allmendinger, the champion, finishes the season in the best possible way. 6 wins and 3 of them here in Canada. Rojas gets second and Sperafico the final step on the podium.
And there's Chris Baker, his race has come to an end. I think that was Josh Rem also spinning at that final corner. Josh Rem had a great run up from 16th on the grid, up into the top 5 or 6, and it all went wrong for him and for Chris Baker at the final corner.
There's Ronda Trammell off to the right-hand side. Chris Baker comes down under brakes. Whoa! Right over the top. And that was pretty savage stuff.
I think that was Didier Skriner now on the outside line, the Canadian Formula Ford driver there, and he just braked a little bit earlier, caught Chris Baker completely by surprise. Whether Baker braked too late, hard to say, but a big action there. He also, this is the battle there for 5th and 6th. That's Piero Redarte. He'd already got damage to that left front corner, and he hit the back end of Josh Rem and tipped Josh into a spin. Bad luck for the Massachusetts driver.
And there is your race winner, the champion and race winner, AJ Allmendinger. Stunning stuff from start to finish, flag to flag. We'll be back to wrap it up right after this. We've said it so many times before, AJ's day, it is again, and a big hug from his father. Very proud parents, and what a moment for that young Californian. Well, let's have a look at the final results. We know our podium place getters, Allmendinger, Rojas, Sperafico, Leonardo Meyer. He really came on strong towards the end there. A good effort from him.
Yeah, good effort there too from Michael Vukalic there to get himself up inside the top 10 ahead of Tommy Fogarty.
Ronda Trammell just outside there. Atticus Missner came from 20th up to 12th, and Josh Rem, just how costly that final corner was.
Yeah, he was jolly unlucky. You can see Herman Quiroga there down in 20th place. Josh Bullier rounding out the field.
Let's hear from AJ.
AJ Allmendinger, 3 for 3 in Canada. Congratulations.
I love racing in front of the Canadian fans. Look how many people are here. I mean, I hope they were excited as I am driving the car, but man, what a great race. I had such a great start and got a lead right away, and then about 7 laps in, I made a mistake down in the end of the straightaway where actually I just didn't get to the brake pedal enough, and had to lock it up and just try to keep it on track, and they got right on me, and from there I just put my head down, got right back in my rhythm. I knew I pulled away the first time and I could do it the second.
You are the 2002 Barber Dodge champion. We said that at Mid-Ohio, but to finish it up, it's got to feel good.
Oh yeah, I mean, I started the season with a victory. I wanted to end it with a victory, and you know, I mean, I didn't really want to have a disappointment at the last race of the season, even though it really didn't matter. It meant everything to me because I wanted to win the race. I want to win every race when I'm out there, and just what a great way to finish it off.
It was a very good race and a tough one, very competitive. The first 4 cars were closing together every lap, and for me it was a very good result. I don't finish in the podium, second place. It's good to finish the season.
Another second place here in Canada. You're wrapping it up in Montreal for 2002. The season, certainly one that you had higher expectations for, but not a bad way to finish it up.
No, it's okay. I did thought we had a chance to win this year. We got close 3 times, but you know this is a very tough series. Anyone can win, and well, luckily we finished second 3 times, which is a very good place anyway.
It was a tough race. I started 3rd, I passed Dandy Liu, but unfortunately in the last lap I got passed by Memo. He was very fast, I couldn't hold him. But it was great because I knew Mark Bruce, my next rival for the second championship was 11, so I just let him go by me, and I didn't make that tough.
Well, it was nice to win at Laguna Seca. I know you really wanted this one, but to finish on the podium, still not a bad result.
It's always good to finish in the podium, even more in the last race. For sure, I wanted to win, but I'm going to have more in my life, for sure.
Rick Radijak there with our top three, and let's take a look at the season's points. The biggest ever winning margin in Barber Pro Series history. Armendinger over Sperafico, and hard luck to Mark Brewers, Jeremy. He got dipped for that second spot in the last round.
He did, but he had a great season. I think all of these guys have driven a superb season. Julio Campos, he didn't finish off the year. He was fast when he was running here early on in the campaign, made a lot of mistakes. Josh Brillo, he's come on in leaps and bounds as the season has progressed.
And that win at Road America rocketed Leonardo Meyer up there to finish just outside the top six. Well, it started a long time ago, way back in Sebring, and we've had some exciting racing this year. Obviously the standout has been AJ Armendinger, but there's plenty to take away from this 2002 season.
Yeah, no doubt about it. The racing has just been absolutely first class all the way through. I really do think this is one of the best ever seasons of Barber Pro Series racing. There's been just intense competition, some great young drivers, and a lot of these guys, we're going to be hearing these names in the next few years up in the Kart FedEx Championship Series, no doubt about it.
To Rafael Sperafico, to Mark Brewers, to Leonardo Meyer, to Mimo Rojas, to Josh Bulliu, Josh Rem, some new names on the scene. A job very well done.
Certainly, you know, there's just a huge depth of talent in the series this year.
It is a tremendous leader and feeder category. It is the entry-level professional race series for kart. And from here, they make the step up to Toyota Atlantics. Who will do that? We'll find out in the 2003 season. There were plenty of spins, there were plenty of wins. And AJ Armendinger took more than any.
Yeah, the great thing about this series is you learn how to make mistakes. You know, you make a mistake, but you learn from that. You don't do it again. There's Julio Campos. He made that mistake at Portland. Look at that, a big accident there. But again, the strength of these cars, he was able to get away from that unscathed.
Davey Cook, he was one of the front runners early on in this season as well, and kind of faded towards the end, frustratingly for him. And who can forget that Mid-Ohio round? That is where Armendinger clinched it. For the Road America round, that was sensational stuff for Leonardo Meyer. Sperafico, Armendinger, the two big names to come out of this year's championship, and Davey Cook picked up his first win at Cleveland as well. Well, some magnificent names have come out of this category. Kenny Brack, Juan Pablo Montoya, and plenty more. Will AJ Armendinger follow in their footsteps? We hope so. On behalf of the entire team, Jeremy Shaw, I'm Lee Diffie. We'll see you next year.